Some Northwestern students and groups are praising a $75 million deal with the Trump administration.
This could bring the school up to $800 million in federal grants if it meets new rules against DEI and anti-Semitism. Political reporter Paris Schutz has the latest on this. Paris?
Yeah, Sylvia and Terrence, Northwestern, the latest high-profile institution to strike an agreement with the Trump administration. And a group called the Coalition Against Anti-Semitism at Northwestern says this $75 million penalty the school has to pay now is fair. They say the group will now oversee changes the school must make if it wants to get all that $800 million in federal grant money restored. Now, the deal was announced late last week. Beyond the money, Northwestern must disband what's called the Deering Meadow Agreement, and that gave new protections to Muslim students, scholarships, and it was struck after a pro-Palestinian encampment that demanded divestment from Israel. Now, this coalition says the Trump administration had the legal right to demand this payout because they believe Northwestern wasn't following federal law.
Northwestern has an obligation, if it takes federal funding, to follow federal laws. It's a private institution, but if it's taking federal funding, it has to follow federal laws. Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 protects students, this is not new, from discrimination and harassment based on protected characteristics. Northwestern, per the federal investigation, failed in doing that. So the federal government, it would be illegal for the government to continue to do business with Northwestern if it continues to violate federal laws.
And part of this continuing to do business means Northwestern must end its DE&I programs, especially as they relate to admissions and hiring. But the decision has split the campus. We spoke with Professor Jacqueline Stevens in the political science department, who likens this money to a hostage ransom or a payoff, and says the university hasn't actually shared the agreement, and there's no guarantee that the school is going to receive that $800 million in grant money that it's already owed.
I think the real question is why Northwestern didn't exercise our legal rights, our institutional rights, and sue the Trump administration much earlier instead of waiting and drawing this out and ending up with a deal that turns over Northwestern's policies to federal law enforcement and that doesn't give us any direct information about what exactly is going to be obtained.
So all these institutions have taken different routes here to deal with this Trump administration crackdown on higher education. Harvard, as Professor Stevens mentioned, they're sued successfully, but other schools took the route that Northwestern did and decided to cut a deal. Terrence?
All right, Paris, thank you.